The Dempsey-Tunney fight. Radio broadcast. December 1926. And speaking of sports, perhaps we may be permitted at this, our first opportunity, to comment on the broadcasting of the Dempsey-Tunney fight. This broadcast may be reckoned as an outstanding event in radio's young history, in that it was heard by countless thousands more of people than ever listened to a sports event before. Some 30-odd stations were involved in the hookup. It is our guess that for those 45 minutes, there was listening in the largest audience ever attracted by a single broadcast, which, if you like superlatives, means the largest audience in the history of the world. What we want to get off our chest first is some unstinted praise for J. Andrew White, who reported the fracas. His was as perfect a piece of work as we have ever heard over the radio, and we hope that every aspiring sports reporter in the country heard it to take a lesson from it. Even the Major's informal remarks before the bout started were effective. For instance, when he laughingly complained that Graham McNamee, his assistant, was using his back as a table to write on, he conveyed a perfect picture of the crowded conditions at the ringside. And from the sounding of the first gong, his delineation of the progress of the fight was an almost incredible feat of rapid, intelligible reporting. Never a pause, nor a search for words, nor a garbled-up sentence. To be sure, we writhed every time he said "idea" or "jar," but what was that beside the fact that he employed no more than 3 ers in the whole 30 minutes? In contrast to Major White's fine job was the miserable exhibition made by McNamee, whose duty it was to handle the mic during the 1-minute rest periods between the rounds. Never has this star announcer been more off form. He hemmed and hawed and blustered about and got utterly nothing said. This quoted verbatim. "It's still raining. It certainly is raining. Yes, it's still raining. Back to the sticks." No sentence he started ever came out right side up, and he included such choice breaks as, "Ladies and gentlemen of the radio audience and others who may be present," and referred to Dempsey's returning to his wife and family. The commercial side of the feature was well handled. As you know, the cost of the broadcast was borne by the Royal Typewriter Company, at a rumored figure of $35,000. The trade name of the machine was worked in a goodly number of times, but probably not too often at that when you consider it was costing about $1,000 per mention. And surprising and commendable exhibition of restraint, it was never once mentioned during the 45 minutes of the fight.